everybody. Welcome to Monday Mindset. I'm Erin Hart, and I am so excited to be here with you today. I have an exciting announcement at the end of this, and I just want to share with you today in today's Monday Mindset a little bit about the incredible experience I had this last weekend. So sorry if you hear my little puppy chewing in the background. You guys, I'm trying so hard. This is like a new experience having a puppy, and she's pooping and peeing all over the place. Oh my gosh. Can anyone relate with that? But I seriously love her so much. Okay, hopefully she'll be quiet. All right, so this week in the Monday Mindset, we're talking about doing hard things. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Erin Hart. I'm a registered nurse health coach, and I lost 125 pounds with the sugar and flour free lifestyle. And I decided to just go on full to become a health coach, to really be able to help others who are like I was a few years ago. A few years ago, I found myself at 284 pounds, and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I had a hard time walking up the stairs. My husband had to help me put on my socks. You know, it was just, I found myself in a place I didn't want to be. And I knew that if I stayed on that trajectory with my health, that it was going to shorten my life, that I'd have diet-related disease. And I was scared because I'm a mom of 3 young girls, and I wanted to be there for them as they grew up. So, you know, one day when I saw myself in the mirror and I didn't recognize my reflection anymore, I didn't see who I am inside through my reflection. It was the moment in time that changed everything for me back in 2020, when I decided that I had to change and that I didn't know how I would do it. I didn't know how I was going to lose 125 pounds, but I knew I had to. And I knew it was going to be hard, but I had such a shock to my system and a deep and strong why that I knew that I must. So if you can relate with that, you're in the right place. This is, I coach women to empower them and help them to get off of the dieting roller coaster once and for all with healthy, real food. No sugar, no flour. Weighing and measuring your food and not snacking in between. And this is the strategy that helped me to achieve extraordinary success with my health goals, and as well as my clients have seen extraordinary results in changing their life. It is a sustainable lifestyle, and it is such a gift in my life. So I'm here to share that hope with you, that if you are someone who feels like weight loss is impossible, that it's not. But I want to talk to you about it because it is a challenge, right? And it can seem like this huge metaphorical mountain in front of you that just seems so impossible to overcome. And I remember feeling that way when I started. And I just remember feeling so overwhelmed, so scared, so much grieving from having to give up sugar and flour, right? But it was a sacrifice I was willing to make to be able to have a better life and to achieve and create the life I wanted for myself. So this last weekend, I just had an incredible experience, and I want to share it with you in hopes that it'll give you some hope if you're like I was a few years ago. Because this last weekend, I hiked to the top of Kings Peak, which is the highest point in Utah. It's like around 13,500 feet in elevation. And it was a 28-mile journey for us. We did it in 2 days. A lot of people do it in 3 days. I know there are some crazy people that do it in 1 day, which I cannot even imagine. But for me, doing it in 2 days, which was this huge feat, and I'm not sharing this with you to brag or to self-aggrandize in any way, and I hope it doesn't come across that way. But when I was 300 pounds and I needed help, I needed hope. and I needed hope, and that's what got me here to where I am today. So I'm hoping to share that hope with you, that if you're not in a place where you want to be with your health, then you can absolutely turn it around. And it really is just a mental game. So, let me tell you a little bit about the hike. So like I said, it was a 28.5-mile hike. It's all above 9,000 feet in elevation, and most of it's above 10,000 feet in elevation. The first day, so I'm newer to backpacking. I did it a lot when I was younger, but I'm getting back into it. It's my dream to do that in my goal body. And so I packed my bag. It was too heavy, probably, right? It was like 50 pounds, and I think it was supposed to be more around 40 or 30 pounds. So, but I had this 50-pound pack. I was very, very well prepared, too well prepared probably. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to do this. I was going with two amazing women who are avid hikers, and they are always hiking different peaks and above 10,000 feet elevation. And so I was the weak link for sure. And I was scared that I was going to not be able to make it or hold them back, because I haven't done anything like this in my entire life, but let alone since I've lost all that weight. You know, when I was younger, I would do more strenuous things like this, but I just didn't know if I was actually even capable of doing it when I left. And I told my husband, I'm like, you might have to come and get me if they leave me behind. But no, my friends are just so sweet, and we all stayed together. But I just went for it because it's been on my bucket list my entire life to climb to the top of this peak. So we left that morning, we started the hike, and it was 8.5 miles to our base camp, which was a challenge for me. So I was carrying this 50-pound pack, but we were able to do it in 4.5 hours. And I just had so much fun. And I just kept telling myself, like, this is easy. This is fun and easy. And was it fun and easy? Yes, because I thought it was, right? But it was definitely a challenge. But I kept telling myself and telling our group, I'm like, you guys, we are so strong. I am so strong. You know, like, we can do this. And there's a scripture in the Bible, and I think it's in Joel, but it says, give me this mountain. So that was my mantra, just like we could see the peak in the distance, and we said, give me this mountain. So we kept hiking. That first day was a challenge for sure. It was a very strenuous hike. It was long, carrying that 50-pound pack, but we got to our base camp, we set up camp, and we went to sleep because we were going to wake up early the next day to go to summit. And in the middle of the night, so this was like above 10,000 feet where we were camping, and I woke up in the middle of the night with this terrible headache, and my heart was pounding, I was nauseous, and I'm like, oh no, I have altitude sickness. And I'm like, oh gosh, this is gonna hold me back from being able to summit tomorrow. So I just want to share with you an experience I had though, because it was in that moment that I said a prayer and I prayed to God to help me and to strengthen me, to help me to feel better so that I could complete this journey. And I went to sleep, and in the morning I was 100%, 200%. I felt so energetic, so strong, no headache, no nausea. I felt excited and motivated, and I just knew that that was a miracle, and for me, that God gave me that gift of overcoming the altitude sickness. And so in the morning, we left around like 6:30 to start to the summit. And the trek to the summit of Kings Peak from Dollar Lake which is where we camped, what is pretty treacherous. So it's about 4.5 to 5 miles if you take the little shortcut, and but it is a lot of elevation gain, and the terrain is very rugged. It's most of it are so probably the last 2.5 miles are all of these rocks. So it's called talus, and it's they're these small boulders, but they're all just clumped together. So you have to hop over all of the small boulders, and we did that for miles. And hiking on that, up this steep hill on all of this talus, and it was just really crazy, but it was so cool. Like the views, you guys would not even believe how gorgeous the Haiu Uintas are if you haven't been here before. I would love you to come with me one day. It is so spectacular. The views, you could see the meadows that were just green. All of the wildflowers were in full bloom, and just absolutely gorgeous, magnificent. I can't even express it in words. So we were, we would go a few feet, and then we would just get out of breath, and we'd have to stop and catch our breath. And it just was that cycle, because we were so high. It was such a strenuous thing that it was really a lot of, it was hard. But, it was so fun. And we just kept telling ourselves, like, we are so strong. This is easy. We can do this. And doing it with people like that who are so positive, so kind, and it just made the experience so much easier and more fun. Doing hard things with friends is such an important thing, and I think that when we're in our weight loss journey, that's why it's so important to have good buddies or coaches or people who are visionaries and who understand your vision and what you're working toward, and who will keep you on track and keep you going when it gets hard. So we were just talking each other up, and there were times when some of us had some fears and wanted to turn back, right? But we, with the strength of the group, we were able to accomplish this great feat. The last 1.5 miles or so were pretty much straight up the last portion of the mountain. There's no vegetation except very small plants because of the high altitude. It's very exposed there, and so it was just, I'm really proud of us for doing what we did. There would be times when we were like, this is so hard, but then we would look back and see how far we came, and it was just such a great way to measure our progress. Instead of looking forward at how far we have to go, we would just look back and say, like, wow, like, look how far we've come. And so it just was so motivating. It was hard to find the path, King's Peak, because of all the talus and all of the boulders, like, it's hard to see where you're going and where the path is. So we relied a lot on the experience of other hikers who were there, who had been and done the hike before, and they would kind of tell us which way to go. They have cairns, which if you're a hiker, you know what that is, but it's like stacked rocks that they put there to be able to guide you. So you go to one cairn, which is a bunch of stacked rocks, and then you can go, and from there you look for the next cairn. And it's just a way to guide you up the path. And we really just took it one step at a time. And our hearts were pounding, we were breathing heavy. But when we went and broke it down into just little sections that we would go at a time, and we would just get to the next part, and then we would stop and catch our breath, and then we'd go a little farther. We just took it in little sections that way. And what I learned from this experience is that we really are capable of more than we think that we are. When I started this journey, I didn't even know if I could do it because I'd never done it before. And and I knew it was a challenge, but my big takeaway from this was that I am capable of a lot more than I think I am. So we faced a lot of obstacles. We faced the boulder fields. It started to snow at one point. The rocks were really slippery. It was cold, and then it was hot, and then it was cold, and then it was hot. When we got near the top of the peak, there were all of these false summits. So we would go and we could see the top, and then we'd get there and we realized it wasn't the top. And then we'd go and we'd see the next top, and it really wasn't the top either. It was all these false summits. And there's so many life lessons with an experience like this, right? That we are all on a journey to climb our mountains, whatever the mountain is in front of you that you're facing. I just want you to know that you are stronger than you think that you are. But your thoughts are so powerful. If you think it's hard, it's going to be hard. If you tell yourself you're strong and that this is easy and fun, it's going to be easy and fun. Like, our brains are so powerful, and it was amazing to me just how seeing that my body is capable of so much more than I thought it was. I had no idea I could do 20 miles in a day. And not only 20 miles, but that was from base camp to the top of Kings Peak, and then all the way back to the parking lot. So like 8.5 of those miles that day were carrying that 50-pound pack. And it was fun, and it was easy. My body was tired. I experienced some of that altitude sickness. But it was all just about doing it with friends, and that made it so much more manageable to have people encouraging me and helping me, and that we stuck together. So now that I've done it, right now I feel like I could guide someone and take my girls, my little girls, in a couple of years. I want to take them to Kings Peak, and now I could take friends and other people because I know where to go, and we learned from some of our mistakes. So we would get to a point and we would look back and say, like, oh, we could have totally gone around that huge obstacle. We didn't have to go over it. So hindsight is such 2020. And when we have a different perspective after we achieve something, we can look back and see, like, okay, we didn't have to go do it the hard way. As a coach, that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is trying to help you to make losing weight faster, easier, and way more fun. We're all on a journey, and just like my Kings Peak experience, you are climbing a really big mountain in your life right now. And it's so much faster, easier, and more fun if you have someone to guide you through, who has been through it before, who can guide you and help you to avoid unnecessary obstacles and help encourage you when you're tired or when you want to give up, right? Having a coach or a buddy or a guide is just so essential when you're facing a big obstacle in your life. You can do hard things, and that's how we get stronger, and that's how we progress in our lives. There's a couple quotes that I want to share with you that are just have been so inspiring to me in my weight loss journey. And I heard these when I started, and it's just helped me to know that I can do hard things. So Brooke Castillo, she said this quote. Let me read it to you. She said, "We know it's hard, and we can do hard things. Creating extraordinary success is hard. This is the reason to do it. Enjoy it being hard. When we do hard things, we get stronger. When we do hard things, we show ourselves what we're capable of. The discomfort of doing hard things is the currency that we pay of the success we ultimately get." Don't you love that? The discomfort of doing hard things is the currency we pay of the success that we ultimately get. Doing hard things is a better life is on the other side of doing hard things. I think of John F. Kennedy when he had that vision of going to the moon, right? It just seemed so impossible at the time. They had less technology than we have in our cell phone. And but this is what he said. He said, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and to do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one that we are unwilling to postpone, and one which we intend to win, and the others too." So I love that he was just unwilling to postpone success. He was unwilling to postpone going to the moon, and he set a goal for the country and for the world, and they accomplished that because he had that vision. So there are really great challenges ahead of us, of all of us. You have losing weight may seem impossible to you, but I want you to know that you're stronger than you think that you are, and that how you approach your obstacles, how you overcome your obstacles, the thoughts that you choose to think, moving forward even when you're tired, even when you want to give up, is the path to success. And you don't have to rely on your own, you don't have to just do it alone. We're so much stronger together. Having a path to follow is so much easier than just trying to find your way up the mountain yourself, right? The success path that we teach in the Year of You is a 10-step process to walk you exactly through how to achieve extraordinary success with your goals. And you just take it one step at a time. I know the whole 10 steps can seem so overwhelming. That seems like so much. But when you just take it one step at a time, it's manageable and it's doable. It's like taking those little sections, right? Just one landmark at a time, going to the next cairn, and taking your success path and your journey in small sections. So it's really not the mountains that we conquer, but it's ourselves that we're conquering. We're overcoming our weaknesses, and so there's one more quote I want to share with you, and this is that he's quoting the scripture, "Give me this mountain." So this is Spencer W. Kimball. He was the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and what he said is this: "There are great challenges ahead of us, giant opportunities to be met. I welcome that exciting prospect, and I feel to say to the Lord humbly, give me this mountain. Give me these challenges." So if you're a person that feels like it's really hard right now, or if you are in a place that you don't want to be with your health, like I was a few years ago, and it feels scary and hard, I just want to invite you to say, "Give me this mountain," and let us help you to achieve your goal. If you don't know that you can do it, I hope that this video will give you some hope that you're capable of more than you think you are. What you allow yourself to think becomes your reality. So up-leveling your mindset is such an important part of a sustainable weight loss. I want to help you to up-level your thinking and believe in yourself so you can start telling yourself that you can, and that you will, and that you won't give up because it's hard. But that's the reason to do it. Just take it one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, one meal at a time. You don't have to climb the whole mountain today. No, it's just you take it one meal at a time, and with constant, consistent action, one meal on plan after another, before you know it, you're going to be able to look back and see how far you've come. So I know that losing all of your excess weight and keeping it off long term feels like that huge metaphorical mountain in front of you, but give me this mountain. Give me this mountain. Do it because it's hard. It is so worth it. And a better life is on the other side of doing hard things. One day you'll be able to look back at this experience of the weight loss phase, and this big, huge mountain in front of you is going to seem like a small, distant memory. And you're going to be living in your goal body, and your life is going to be so much better for it. So I believe in you, and I hope that you'll join me, because on September 13th through the 16th, I want to just let you know that I'm going to be hosting a free challenge. This is a 4-day experience that's available to you. I'm going to be teaching the success path. I'm going to be teaching the success framework. Excuse me, that's what I meant to say. Which I teach to my clients to help them to up-level their mindset and to overcome the all or nothing mentality, overcome perfectionism, so that we can move forward with our health goals and achieve extraordinary success. You're going to learn how to master your mindset, develop a winning strategy with weight loss, with a sugar and flour-free lifestyle, and then learn how to consistently execute your plan. It is going to be September 13th through the 16th at 12 p.m. Mountain Time. So put it in your calendar right now, save the date, September 13th through the 16th, 12 p.m. Mountain Time. I'll put the link to sign up and register. I do have limited spots available for this experience. It's only, so really you don't want to miss this. I hope that you'll join us for the Success Framework free challenge, and I look forward to seeing you there. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.